Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of September 26th, 2018, last week of the month. Man, September's flown by. October's right around the corner and a bunch of shows are coming back on air. Man, a lot of stuff going on. But let's get right into it. First up, we have Action Comics number 1003. Bendis brings Batman into the Action Comics story arc that he's telling, so we will see what happens with that. I've enjoyed Bendis' stuff so far. Yeah, keep going with it. Next up, we have Detective Comics number 989. Yes, we are 11 issues away from Detective 1000. Oh man, really enjoyed this. Robinson's done a good job in filling some stuff. I'm curious to see what the new creative team going forward. I think Tomasi's starting it soon, so I'm super excited for that. Next up, we have Jeff Johns and Gary Frank's Doomsday Clock number 7 of 12. Doomsday Clock has been fantastic so far, despite it having the horrid delays, but that's okay. This issue is fantastic. I've already gotten a chance to read it. I'm going to reread it as soon as I can. But yeah, good stuff. Next up, we have a new number 1 from Valiant, and that's Faith Dream Side number 1. Apparently, Faith is going to be dealing with stuff on the dream side. So yeah, we'll see what that entails. Next up, we have Flash number 55. Yep. Looks like Heatwave is back, so we'll see what Williamson takes us in Flash. But good stuff so far from that. Next up is Harbinger Wars 2 Aftermath number 1, so we'll see what the fallout from the Harbinger Wars 2 was, and see where we go from here. Next up is the big book for me this week. I've already read it twice. I'm probably going to read it again. And that's Heroes in Crisis by Tom King and with art by Clay Mann. This issue was fantastic. Great setup, engaging, hooks you, makes you want to read issue 2. Just really solid stuff. A lot of people have kind of been like, and complaining online. But the story is going to come out. This is just the first taste of it. So I'm super excited for Heroes in Crisis. I cannot wait to see where it goes. But man, is that first issue a little devastating. Next up, we have Justice League Dark number 3. We're going to see what's going on with Wonder Woman and some of the magical characters in the DC universe while they track down what's going wrong with magic. Next up is a new number 1 from DC, and that's Justice League Odyssey number 1. I don't know what to tell you. This book was supposed to be out at some point earlier than now, but they completely scrapped what they were doing and went somewhere else, so I don't know what to expect from this book, but we'll see. So, yeah. Next up, we have Donny Cates' Redneck 15. I've enjoyed Redneck so far. It's basically vampires and their rednecks. Good stuff. Next up is a title that we got shorted a few weeks ago, but we finally got our copies in. That's Scooby Apocalypse number 29. Just a really fun book to read. I've been enjoying it since issue 1. Yeah. Next up, we have Star Wars Adventures number 14. This is for my son. Hopefully he gets a chance to read it. He's backlogged on his Star Wars Adventures comics, but he'll probably get there soon. He's starting to read a lot more. His reading level's really excelling he's past where he's supposed to be, so I'm super proud of that. But got to get some stuff for him. Next up is a new number 1 from Dark Horse, and it's a 1 of 4, and that's Stranger Things 1 of 4. This is apparently about what is going on the Upside Down. So I'm curious to see what this book entails. I read a little preview of it in a previews magazine a few months ago, and I liked it, so I decided to snag it. Next up, we have The Terrifics number 8. Yeah, what can I say? It's been enjoyable. It's been okay. It's one of the better titles of the New Age of Hero stuff. It's not great, but I enjoy it. Next, we have Titans number 26. Titans are basically going around now and cleaning up the dark multiverse exposure that people are getting, have gotten, and trying to help people and save people and all that stuff. It's an interesting concept. I'm curious to see where it goes, especially with what's going on with Raven. So we'll see. Next up, we have Wonder Woman number 55. Steve Orlando has been writing Wonder Woman. Not necessarily the best coming off of Rucka's and then Robinson's stuff, so I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's okay, but we'll see where it goes. And see if he can. I think it takes a couple issues for a creator to really get inside the character, so hopefully Orlando gets that soon. But yeah. Next up we have Exo Man-O-War issue 19, but apparently it's issue 75. I don't know if it's 75 newer issues, because it's definitely not 75. It's a lot more than 75 with the older issues. So yeah, I've enjoyed Exo Man-O-War. Really good stuff from Valiant. If you have not yet checked it out, I suggest you do. I did grab a ton of variants this week. There's my stack of variants. First up, we have the Francis Manapool variant for Action 1003. Like that one. Detective 989 came with one of those schematic covers for the Batwing, so I snagged that one up there. Doomsday Clock had an awesome cover of Rorschach beating up Joker. Flash, of course, had its awesome variant right there. Heroes in Crisis had a couple variants this week. The one I really wanted, it was the 1 in 200, but I am not paying $300 for that thing, but it's a beautiful cover. But I did grab this one of Harley and Booster fighting in the sky. They did have a blank cover for Heroes in Crisis number 1, so I snagged that one up. And they're doing these kind of file Polaroid covers for Heroes in Crisis, so I snagged the variant for that. Greg Capullo did a fantastic cover or variant cover for Justice League Dark number 3, so I snagged that one up. And Terry Dotson did a cool one for Justice League Odyssey number 1. Stranger Things had a bunch of different covers. I was a sucker and grabbed a handful of them, but that's because I liked the artists and I liked what they were doing. So there's that one. There's the one right there. And then just for shits and giggles, I grabbed the picture one. Probably not going to do that again with any of the ones coming up, unless it's really a cool cover, but that's it. Titans 26 had a pretty bitchin' cover with Steel, Donna Troy, and Miss Martian Manhunter? I can't remember what her name is. Anyway, cool stuff. And then, of course, the awesome variant for Wonder Woman number 55. So, yeah, lots of at least single issues this week for me. Variants and regular books, if you want to check it out. That's the stack right there. Yeah, ridiculous, crazy amount of books. I did grab some stuff for my kids. For my daughter, I grabbed this Disney Princess Jasmine's New Pet little storybook from Dark Horse. It's just basically kind of a little cartoon, so hopefully we can enjoy that together. But yeah, she likes Jasmine, so it's not her favorite, but she likes it. I also grabbed the new DC Superhero Girls Search for Atlantis. My daughter likes at least flipping through these. We haven't gotten a chance to sit down and read them, but got plenty of stuff for them to read when they're ready. And I also picked up Little Pierrot. This is volume 3. Starry Eyes. I love the art on the cover, and when I flip through these, I just really like the simplicity of the artwork. It's kind of a beautiful, you see there, kind of awesome stuff. Just a little cool stuff. So I haven't actually gotten a chance to read this, but I need to sit down and read these. But yeah, there's 3 of them. Check it out. I did pick up a couple trades for myself that came in. The first one is Port of Earth Volume 2. This collects issues 5 through 8 of Port of Earth. I really enjoyed the first issue, but I did not continue it in single issue. I've been getting the trades, so we'll see how Port of Earth holds up, but I've enjoyed the first trade, so can't wait to dive in. And then next up is a Flash, the Rebirth Deluxe Edition Volume 3. This collects, let me see what it collects. It collects issues 28 to 38 and the Flash story from the DC Universe Holiday Special from 2017. I read somewhere that it collected an annual, but I'm not sure. So we'll see if that's true. But I'm not overly happy with how DC's been doing their Rebirth hardcovers. The Batman ones are fantastic. A couple of them are really good. Flash, I have a slight problem with, and let me grab these over here to better show you what I'm talking about. So there's 3 Flash trades, and of course it's all broken up with the Button story arc. Much like Batman was, they didn't include the Flash issues in the actual trade, so you had to actually go get the Button to read those. They kept the issues of Batman in there, but you read 2 parts of a 4-part story, and it doesn't necessarily make too much sense. I hate it when they do that, and they leave stuff out. They need to just put it in and leave it in. If it's a tie-in, crossover, whatever, put it in each character's subsequent trade or hardcover, whatever. Do it. Don't separate it out. So annoying when they do that. So what basically I noticed is the first 2 Flash trades are about the same size, but the third one is a little bit smaller. The first trade collects Rebirth and 1 to 13, which is about 13 and a half, or no, sorry, 14 issues of content. This one collects 14 to 27, which is about 14 issues of content. This one collects 28 to 38 and a Flash story from something. So this isn't even 14 issues. Like this is significantly smaller. It boggles my mind at how, like an annual I think should be in here, but it's not listed as being in here. It's a really poor thing for DC to do, kind of to not have the size remain fairly consistent. So if you look at the spines, you can definitely see that there's a difference in size. Even like this one is bigger, slightly bigger than the first one, and then this one's smaller. So whoever does the graphic novel design or layout or mapping seriously needs to realize that people like uniformity when it's on their shelves. They like it because it looks nice. DC did a good job with the Fables deluxe hardcovers. Majority of them are about the same size. They contain about the same amount of content. These 2 are a little bit different in size, but that's because the last issue of this is virtually an entire trade. So I get why that one is, but most of the rest of them are about the same size, so they look nice on your shelf. When you have something that's distinguishedly different, which you can definitely tell by the DC logo down on the bottom. Yeah, that's definitely a smaller logo. Yeah, really disappointing. I really wish they would fix it. But that's just my ramblings on the internet on a YouTube video. So, who knows? Maybe you'll see it. Also, being the last week of September and the last week of the month, we get previews. And this is the October previews for what issues? 361. This is for books released in December. So stuff coming out in December is going to be in here that you can check out. You will have to pick up as well the Marvel extra previews, or the Marvel previews, and DC now is separate from that. So make sure you grab all 3. The main book, the Marvel and DC ones. But it's a really great resource. If you don't have the money to pick it up, your store should have a copy of this, which they should let you peruse through to check out things that you want to order. If they don't have a copy, you can go online to previewsworld.com and you can peruse the catalog there. So it's a really great way to be kind of up on top of what's going on. You don't necessarily need to read everything, so you might not, if you don't want to be spoiled. But like things like The Man Who Laughs is coming out in December, #1. Batman and the Outsiders, I'm super excited for. By Brian Hill, art by Dexter Soy, cover by Tyler Kirkman. Looks to be amazing. Vendetti's doing a Freedom Fighters book. So I go through and I dog ear all the pages that I want to make sure that I get stuff from. Steve Orlando's doing a Martian Manhunter book that's starting. in December. You guys should really check out the DC New Talent Showcase. I've loved each of these that they've done. It's really cool to see kind of new creative talent give try their hand at some stories. Really good stuff. I've picked it up for the past 2 years, and I highly recommend it. But yeah, you can flip through and you can see things that are coming out. Like their DC is doing a portfolio of Stanley Art Germ Lau's stuff, so you can get like prints of Art Germ's covers and hang them up. So yeah, if you don't go through previews, you wouldn't have known that was coming in. They also release what trades are coming out in December. Let's see, anything significant that I got going on. Yeah, Harley Quinn Rebirth Deluxe, but I just marked that because I need to make sure it's on my list of stuff to automatically get, which it should be. But there is a disappointing thing that's coming out in December, and that's the Mr. Miracle trade by Tom King and Mitch Gerardis. For those of you who just want to read it, it's fantastic. For those of us who want a nice, shiny hardcover, oversized for our shelves, we have to wait. So yeah. So if you haven't read it, Mr. Miracle the Trade is coming out in December, so it's definitely something you maybe want to put down that you want or get for your for Christmas. Who knows? Couple statues that I'm looking at picking up. The Joelle Jones. See, I did it. Joelle, yes. The Joelle Jones DC CoverGirls statues. She's done a Wonder Woman one that's going to be coming out. This isn't solicited in December. This is solicited out for May of 2019. A lot of the statues have a longer wait time. It's like, so that's what happens. And they're also doing these like sepia tones variant statues for the Bombshells. So I'm gonna probably snag at least 3 of them up. Harley, Poison Ivy, and Catwoman. Got to get my Gotham City Sirens. But yeah, that's pretty much what. Like, I just dog ear, and then I go on Comic Hub through Comixology, through Comic Hub through Comics Conspiracy, and put in my order. Or I look up all that stuff, put in my order, submit it. That's how I get it. It's a really great way to stay on top of stuff, and it's a really great way to make sure you get the things that you want. I know a lot of you probably were like, oh crap, I didn't get Batman Damned. Yeah, if more people had pre-ordered it and more people had shown interest and said, hey, get this, I think stores would have ordered more, even, especially since they're taking a hit if it's not successful. So, but apparently the Batwang was hugely successful. We have not yet gotten any notice from DC whether or not there's going to be a second printing, and if that second printing does exist or will come out, if it's going to have the Batwang in it. So who knows? Lots of jokes last week about Batman's little man, or really his little, little Batman. So, but I really enjoyed The Damned. It was a really great read. The only problem I had with the book was the font and lettering that was used in it was not the best. The white that they used was not a really crisp, like bright white, so it kind of blended in at times with the art on the page, which made it a little difficult to read at times, especially since it was also in a kind of scripty font. So yeah, but if you've got a copy of Batman Damned, you're sitting on a probably $50 book. If you don't have it, hopefully they'll release it. They'll let us know if they're doing second prints, and you can grab one there. Otherwise, you'll just have to wait for the collected edition. And the collected edition is basically going to be, it's 3 issues, so the collected edition will probably be in previews within the next month or 2. So yeah. Alright, well, I'm tired. This is late recording. I had to go back into work today to finish up doing mail order for Comics Conspiracy. We have a fair amount of mail order, and it just keeps growing and growing, which is great for me because it's work, but sometimes you can't finish everything in one day, so I had to go back today and put in a couple more hours to finish up. Yeah, so sorry for the lateness of my Wednesday New Comic Book Day video. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You can Also, listen to me on the Comics Conspiracy podcast. We just finished recording episode 369. It was a two-man show with me and Ryan Higgins. Woohoo! Just a two-man show. We talk at length about, yeah, I know, funny, about Batman and Damned, and all that stuff. We answer some listener questions. We also talk about a couple other news stuff, some of the news stuff that came out. So there'll be a link in the description below for that. You can check that out. There's also going to be the .75 episode that we recorded while Ryan was out a week and a half ago. Is up, and you can check that one out there. And there's also a Dark Conspiracy episode 2, I think is what they're calling it, or I don't know, where Toby and the guys and Bryce all gathered around something and Skyped and talked and all that stuff. So that will be up as well. But if you head over to you can click on the link below to get to the main Comics Conspiracy stuff. You can help me and my fellow conspirators out through Patreon at www.patreon.com/comicsconspiracy. For as little as $1 a month, you help us with hosting fees, getting food sometimes, and getting products. So we do appreciate all our Patreon backers. Thank you very much for your support, and keep it up. Hopefully we will be able to get some more content out there, but being busy all the time with life, just sometimes you just have to force it to get anything done. So yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager. You can also help me out a little more directly by purchasing anything on an Amazon link here or over on my blog at conspiratorbrock.com. You can also help Comics Conspiracy Store out if you buy through our digital storefront. So if you're over at conspiratorbrock.com, you click on one of the links on my pull list, it'll take you to that page, and that's on Comics Conspiracy's website. So if you buy through there, we get a percentage and a cut. Thank you very much to everyone who does that. It helps out immensely. You can also go to my eBay store. There's a link in the description below. I'm constantly purging. I don't constantly have stuff up, but check it out nonetheless to see if I have something up, because I'm constantly trying to get rid of stuff. Yeah. Leave your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know what you're getting. Let me know what you think. I'm trying to improve, so thank you for letting me know I butcher people's names. Yeah. I'm tired. I'll see you next week.